What's up, guys? So for the longest time I have been a huge Hideo Kojima fan, from the very first Metal Gear all the way up to Metal Gear Solid 5, all the spin-offs and everything in between. I have always been an enormous Hideo Kojima fan. I don't like the way Konami has treated him over the years, and I don't like the fact that he's never been able to work outside of any games beside Metal Gear for years. So when Death Stranding was announced, I obviously was so happy for the man, but I do have some problems with the way Death Stranding is going, and I have these issues not to bash Kojima's name, but because as a fan of Hideo Kojima and his past work and how I love my video games, I do see a slight issue with Death Stranding. I'm going to be naming these issues, but I want to have your guys' opinion on Kojima and Death Stranding as a whole. Again, I am very excited for it, and I'll express why I am in a little bit, but there are some issues that really do need to be talked about, so here we go. So the biggest thing I feel we need to talk about is the fact what everybody has been saying about Death Stranding, and that's it's going to bring the world together, that there are sticks. This is what Hideo Kojima himself said. There are sticks, but there also are ropes, and the ropes are what ties people together, while their sticks are used for fighting. And again, we keep having this constant emphasis. Even last week, when Norman Reedus again implied this bringing the world together type of mentality. And on the surface, this seems cool as shit, but it really sounds to me that they're planning to make this game always online, that you have to be online to get the full experience of this game. And I feel that's horrible, because first off, there are people in this world who don't have internet connections. Now, you may laugh at those people, you may feel like they are irrelevant in the age of smartphones and all this technology that has advanced over these years, especially with the internet, but you have to realize that not everybody is as privileged as you. Yes, they have systems, they have televisions, but internet is not something they can either afford, or is in their area, or is very strong. They may actually have internet, but it's not that good. And this brings up several issues that I have with the game. How can somebody play this if it's always online if they don't have a connection? Now, this obviously doesn't apply to me. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just showing this point because of my personal internet issues. I have great internet, but there are people out there who don't have it. So will it be like Metal Gear Survive, that the moment that you're not connected, or the servers have issues, or something that is not really related to your connection problems suddenly shuts off, and then you're like kicked out, or there are things that are locked to you? Now, a little while ago, Kojima did actually address this, and he said that the game can be played in single player. However, the problem I have with this response is, if you're building a game that has such a big centerpiece of having an online component to it, that fans who buy this game will in fact be losing out on something no matter what. It's completely unavoidable. If you can play this game single player, which I very much hope so that you can, you'll still be losing something in that process. You're going to be sacrificing the people who don't have internet, and they won't be getting the full experience as you by yourself will be getting. So it's either or. It's either you have an online only game with a single player element to it, as if you don't have to connect to the rest of the world, but you still have to be online in order to gain something, or it's going to be a type of game where it's going to be a single player focused game, except it has a big online component. So if you don't have access to the internet or online, you will be missing out on some content that the game has, and I think either or is actually horrible. This is a thing that Anthem is currently struggling against, with BioWare telling their fans that you can play this game single player. However, you will be missing out on something at the end of the day. Either the games will be very hard to complete on your own, or things of that nature. Because if a game is created to be centered around online, that means the single player, the offline people, are obviously going to have some type of downplayed experience. Now, this is a criticism. I'm not saying the game is going to be bad because of it. I'm just saying that in the history of gaming, every time a game has been like always online that hasn't in the past always been online has always received some negative criticism. And although Death Stranding isn't Metal Gear, what people expect from Kojima is great single player experiences. And you know, people don't like always online. We didn't like it with the Xbox when that thing first got announced, and I feel always online will hinder the gameplay experience for the person looking for a solely single player experience. And I don't know, this sucks for me because when I buy video games nowadays, I don't really buy multiplayer games. I buy single player games. You know, I'm gonna buy Devil May Cry. You know, I loved God of War. I'm currently playing through Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, I love single player games, and I love being in a space where I can play by myself and I don't have to rely on other people. Something like Monster Hunter, I tried it, but as amazing as that game is, it's not for me. Destiny is not for me. Titanfall is not gonna be for me. Anthem is not gonna be for me, because these are gameplay. These are games that resolve around the online experience, that are created for online. And these games have offline play. These games you can play single player by yourself, but it's not as good of an experience, and it feels like I'm being punished if I play these games by myself, because the game will upscale in difficulty and all of that. And I feel if this game comes out and it's going to be centered around online and bringing the world together, as amazing as that sounds, I don't want other people influencing my gameplay experience. And again, that's just a personal opinion. But I want to move on to the second thing that I feel that is a big problem with Death Stranding, is that nobody knows what the hell this game is. The actors, Norman Reedus, has come out and said he thought he knew what the hell it was going on, but it turns out Kojima's mind is so crazy that he didn't even know, and he plays a role in the game, a big role, as he is the player we will be controlling. You know, all of these actors have come out and said that they don't know what the hell this game is, and I personally think that this is like a marketing scheme. I think that because Kojima doesn't really want to show too much of the game, and that's great. I'm glad, I'm happy about that. I hate when single player games and story based games show off way too much and they take the speculation out the factor. I love the fact that he does that, but the fact that he's not showing the game, and when he does show the game, it's very vague. People are really discussing it because they don't know what it is. And when the actors come out and say they don't know what it is, I feel like they're doing this, you know, to further push the message that Kojima's like this new age, just woke developer, if you want to call it that. And he's very brilliant what he does with his games, especially with the Metal Gear series, how he confuses his fans. But I don't know, I feel like they're doing this just to delay showing the game, just to delay really putting out any new information. You know, if you ask for any information, all they say is his mind is brilliant and this is gonna be a fantastic game, and it's so crazy that I don't know what it is. You know, when they say these things, I believe they're just hyping Kojima up, hyping his name, and hyping the game when it deserves to be hyped up. But when nobody knows what it is, it's like you have these memes and these jokes, and I personally I'm not as excited as I was for the game when I saw the first initial reveal trailer. You know, when I saw the baby in the throat and in the stomach giving the thumbs up. I admit I'm not as excited because I feel like they're dragging this out. They're dragging it through the mud. And I really hope that we get some info soon, because I'm getting bored of this game, you know? I'm getting bored of the walking simulator memes. I'm getting bored of the vague enemies, and I'm getting bored of Sam holding a gun at some point in the trailer, but we don't see him firing it. We don't see what he's attacking. We don't even know anything about the enemies we're fighting against. And honestly, what has been shown, the little gameplay we got of Sam creeping through the dark with the device on his back, and he eventually gets caught in that little gameplay segment, we didn't really see much. We saw some stealth. Some stealth will be in the game against these enemies, but when Sam got caught, they caught him, and then he died and got a restart and got the print on him. And I feel these things are really cool, but when you drag them through the mud for so goddamn long, it really starts to bore me as a player, as somebody who's constantly following all information. You know, I think everything is cool. I just need something concrete. And that is, I feel, a big issue. But those are my two biggest problems I'm having right now with Death Stranding, and I'm saying this as a Kojima fanboy, as a Metal Gear fanboy. Yes, I admit I'm a fanboy of these two people, of these two entities, Metal Gear, Kojima. I love Kojima Productions. You know, I've been following Kojima since I was a child, so I don't know. Those are just my thoughts about Death Stranding. Let me know your thoughts about the game. Are you excited for it? Do you want to play it? Do you think it will be on PS5, or do you think it will stay here on PS4? I'm gonna be out of here. Thank you guys for listening. Deuces.